Good day, everyone. Welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. Yes, it does. So, welcome to Morning Sip. My passion is to support people in transforming their lives. My mission is to give inspiration through spiritual life coaching, preaching, and teaching that sparks the divine, that ignites the divine spark within you to live life in joy, connected to your yes. So, if you need support, if you've been looking for a spiritual life coach, you can reach out to me. You can send me a direct message at I am Rev Melissa on Instagram and Facebook. All right, everybody. So welcome to today's show. We are live. We are live on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube, and we are streaming on New Thought Media Network. So hopefully all systems are go this morning, and we're going to get right into it. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I know today's Tuesday, but I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. We did some traveling here in the Nobles household. We went to a college tour with our girls and had a great weekend. Like, we packed it in, y'all. We packed in as much as we could over this weekend. So we stopped by and saw one of Aria's best friends, stayed the night in Virginia before we went on to visit Hampton University on Saturday, which was amazing. And then we decided we're so close to North Carolina, let's just keep going. And so we went and visited Marco's parents, my in-laws, on Saturday evening, spent the whole day with them on Sunday, and then we hit the road on Monday and got in late last night. So I'm a little tired, y'all. I'm a little tired, but it was a wonderful weekend. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend as well. So I'm hoping that all systems are working here because there's stuff going on with the technology today. So I'm not sure if I'm broadcasting or not. So someone let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, if all systems are go. I really would appreciate that. Let me look on Instagram. Nope, I don't see anyone on Instagram and I don't see anyone on Facebook. So y'all let me know, or YouTube. So let me know if y'all can hear me and see me. All right, so I'm going to keep going. So last week, our series was priority. Remember that? We had a whole series last week on priority. And one of the questions that I asked of you all was, what are your priorities? What are your priorities? It's important to define, to decide, define, and declare our priorities. And so I spent some time last week sharing Reverend Ike's 4 basic steps to setting and keeping your priorities. And it's from this book, Health, Reverend Ike's Secret. Oh, I have it right here. Reverend Ike's Secrets for Health, Happiness, and Prosperity for You. And I would encourage you to pick up this treasure because this is going to be my book for 2025. It is a 52-week study guide called A Science of Living Study Guide. So if you want to join me on that journey, get the book and get ready for the new year now. All right. All right. So I see some comments coming in. Good. Thank y'all. Thank you, Shay. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Say Cool. All right. So we look like we're all systems go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I also shared a couple of things last week that I'm gleaning from listening to the audiobook of the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. I think that's his name. And I am thoroughly enjoying this audiobook, so much so that I have to get the book. That I have to get the book because there's so much juiciness that he shares that I want to capture. And it's hard to capture things on an audiobook, you know? So I'm stopping, I'm trying to take notes and rewinding, and eh, it's too much work. So I'm going to just go ahead and buy the book. But one of the things that I shared last week from the book were throughout the book, he shares what he calls brain tattoos. So these lessons, these teachings that he is encouraging us to like tattoo on our brain so that we don't forget it, right? And so one of the things that he shared that was a brain tattoo had to do with priorities and how our priorities are our habits, right? And how recent research is showing that it takes at least 66 days to just set a habit. Just to, like, that's the start of it. 66 consecutive days is what research is showing to just set a habit, right? And then you got to keep going for it to really, really formulate, right? And one of the things that he talked about in that brain tattoo was the power of persistency, right? And what he said was persistency is necessary for all forms of mastery. When you feel like quitting, is the time you must keep advancing. It's the opportunity to practice self trust. And I will tell y'all that, okay, sidebar. So, I'm doing one of my priorities for my birthday month is to run or walk at least a mile a day for the whole month of October. So, yesterday was my day 17. And I know today is just the 15th, but I started a couple of days early. And within that, I had a goal of running at least a mile without stopping. No walking, no slowing down my pace, running at the same pace for at least a mile. And I did that. I did that on October 3rd, and I have since done it a number of times since then. And so I think the longest I've run without stopping has been a mile, 1.42 miles, 1.42 miles. So my new goal is to run at least a mile and a half without stopping. So what I have discovered, which I know, but it really came home for me this weekend being away, how challenging it was for me to go out and run. I had to talk to myself, let me tell y'all, because when I got to North Carolina, and let me tell y'all, I love my in-laws. I love them and they love me. So when I go to don't believe in that 66 thing, okay, here's Shay. Don't believe in that 66-day thing. I decided to start flossing after every meal, started doing it, and that was it. Some with eating mindfully and quitting bad habits. It's a decision. It is absolutely a decision. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But I'm also a geek for research. I really am. So I get very curious about the brain and all of that stuff. I won't even go into all of it, right? So it's information, right? It's not like chiseled in stone. It's information that I could use, and it's information that encourages me. So if for me, it's encouraging, right? For some, it might be like, oh my God, 66 days. Oh my God, whatever the number of days are, that could be a lot for somebody, but it's not for me. It's encouraging for me. So it might be like that little competitive edge that I got, that little streak of competitiveness that I have sometimes. So do with it as you wish. Do with it as you wish. I like it. I like that this sense that it takes 66 days. I like it. So, anyway, back to my point. Back to my point. Thank you, Shay. So, persistency, right? Persistency. So, as Shay has shared, Shay is being persistent about flossing after every meal. Beautiful. I'm being persistent about running at least a mile a day. That being a goal, running or walking at least a mile a day for the month of October. And I noticed observation that it was more challenging for me to do it while I was away. And added on that is that when I'm away, especially with my in-laws, I don't have to do anything, y'all. They take such good care of us. We don't have to do a thing unless we want to, which is a good thing to do. But I don't have to do anything. So it's easy for me to just lay back and just like, ooh. Yes, yes. It's like that kind of energy when I go down there. And so every morning when I got up, I was like, go outside. Like, don't do another thing, just go outside. And so that's what I did. I would just go outside and do my run and get it in. And I think one day I wound up doing like a 10K. I did a 10K one day of running and walking, right? Not a 10K of straight running. So persistency is what I want to talk about today in the context of our priorities, right? In the context of our priorities. Because making one of your priorities to be persistent is a habit that we can cultivate each and every day, right? So make persistency a priority is what I am offering today. Make persistency a priority by making whatever you're being persistent about a habit. And we establish habits by taking it one day at a time, one day at a time. And those days might add up to 66 or they might add up to 365. It doesn't matter. Be persistent. And so one of the chapters, another book that I love, if you're keeping count of all of the books I love, it's a very long list. But this classic, Think and Grow Rich. I love, 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 love this book by Napoleon Hill. And I know that Fee King, my Libra sister, also loves this book. And she often talks about chapter 9, which is called Persistence, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. This is the 8th step to riches. So I just want to share a little bit with you from Think and Grow Rich as it relates to our priorities and being persistent about our priorities so that it becomes a habit. And what are habits? Habits are our behaviors. Our consistent behaviors are our habits. So one of the things that Napoleon Hill writes is the basics of persistence is the power of will. So you'll know I have this whole thing about willpower. And I say leave will alone. That the power that we get to use is the power of the universe. and that the power of will for me is a willingness, right? Just to be open, to take the baby step. So I'm not talking about willpower in the sense of, oh, like it's so hard, I'm straining to do it. Like I'm beating myself up about it. I got to have willpower. I'm not talking about that kind of energy of willpower. I'm talking about the willingness to use the power that is available to us. And that power that is available to us is infinite. So this is the power that we get to plug into for our persistency, for our priority, for our habits. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Napoleon Hill might be talking about something a little different. Like I say, I'm just sprinkling some Red Melissa on it. All right? All right. So that was one thing. This is the second thing. He says, unless you are one of the two out of every 100 who already have a definite goal at which you are aiming and a definite plan for attainment, you may read the instructions and then carry on with your daily routine, never complying with those constructions. What is he talking about? Doing it. Not just thinking about it, not just talking about it, not just writing about it, but actually doing it. All of those components together, doing it. The author is checking you up at this point because lack of persistence is one of the major causes of failure. Moreover, experience with thousands of people have proved that lack of persistence is a weakness common to the majority of people. It is a weakness that may be overcome by effort. The ease with which lack of persistence may be conquered will depend entirely upon the intensity of one's desire. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Is desire. So, what is it that you are desiring for yourself? Do you know what that is? We talk about it all the time. Do you know what you are desiring for yourself? Do you have a definite plan for that which you desire? Is a question, right? So, persistence is a state of mind, is what Napoleon Hill writes. So, anything that is a state of mind can be cultivated can be cultivated. We get to cultivate our minds. And this is one of the aspects that I also love about the 5 a.m. club, which I still am working toward, right? So, one of the things that the author talks about in the 5 a.m. club is about cultivation. And the 4 areas that he recommends we spend time cultivating are the areas that we talk about all the time. And I know they are the areas that you all are already cultivating. And so the author of the 5 a.m. club, his sprinkle on this principle, right? Because everybody got their own sprinkle. His sprinkle on this principle, he refers to as sets. So your mindset, your heart set, your health set, and your soul set. Those are the 4 components that he talks about cultivating at 5 a.m. in the morning as part of the 5 a.m. club. So these are things that we already do, right? These are our spiritual practices. And we may call it something else. And we may do it at some other time of the day. But the point is that we cultivate it, right? That we are persistent about cultivating it. So that's where we're going this week, somewhere along, somewhere on this path of persistency with some 5 a.m. club mixed in with some Think and Grow Rich mixed in, and with some of you mixed in, because I love your comments. And I love hearing about how you incorporate this and sprinkle your own something, something on it so that it becomes your own and works for you. Yes, because that's what it's all about. Sharing information, using what works for you, discarding what doesn't, and then adding your own little sprinkle to it. That's what I do, y'all. That's what I do. So that is the invitation, and that's what we're going to explore this week. So thank you all for being with me today. And we're going to get into some joy news. Let me check your comments. Shay, it is self-love, self-care situation. Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, Lainey, thank you. And you know you are in my prayers, Lainey, for your surgery. I will be keeping a high watch for you. So let me know when you know the time on November 5th so that we can send you some love and light and I can hold a high watch for you. Good day, Ron. It's good to see you. Linda stepping out. Oh, some reason my screen. There we go. Stepping out and doing it is the leading step to persistent. Yes. You don't have to feel like it. You don't have to feel like it. Believe you me, I do not feel like going out and running a mile, but it's something that I want to do. It's a desire that I have. It's a desire for my health set, as Robin would say in the 5 a.m. club. All right, y'all. All right. Lainey will give you the last word. I'm persistent about connecting with God daily. Amen, Lainey. I am persistent about that as well. As well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, y'all. All right. So let's get into some joy news real quick. Let's get into some joy news real quick. So today is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So tomorrow we have our community cafe, which is with the CSL book study. And the book study is What It Takes to Heal by Pinterest Hentfield. And it is a wonderful book. I'm a couple of chapters behind, so I'm not stressing myself about it. I'm continuing to read, and you could join in the conversation tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Here it is right here. If you're with me on Facebook or YouTube, you can see the graphic for the book, What It Takes to Heal. It's a 5-week virtual book study, and we are on week 4. We're on week 4, and it's a wonderful book. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So if you want some more information, you can go to rocklandcsl.org. The information is there to register with CSL. Okay. And it's free. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. This weekend, no, before I get to the weekend, let's get to our next full moon. Our full moon meditation is this week, Thursday, October 17th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Our meditation with the full moon is a full spiritual practice that we get to do together. We are persistent about our meditation with the full moon. Yes, we are. So please join me on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which means there's no 10:30 sip on Thursday. Okay, sip on Thursday is at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So spread the news and let folks know that we're doing the meditation with the full moon on Thursday. I'm really excited about that because we're in Libra. So we got that Libra full moon energy happening. So join me for that. This weekend is our in-person service, our third Sunday of the month. We are in person at Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Rockland County. So if you're in the neighborhood, please join us. It's at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We will also be having a potluck after service, so bring a dish to share. Our theme for October is healing. So my talk this Sunday is about conquering conjuring healing, conjuring healing together, right? And we do that through the power of visioning. So we're going to be doing a little visioning on Sunday. So I hope you can join us in service. We will also be on Zoom through UUCR's Zoom link. So the Zoom link will be available on the Rockland CSL website. So you can go to rocklandcsl.org and the Zoom link for UUCR will be there, so you can join us. We won't be live streaming on Facebook this Sunday, and the message will be posted later on if you can't join us on Sunday via Zoom or in person. All right? All right. So I think that's all of the announcements. Let me check my card here. Yeah, that's all I'll share today. I have more, but I'll share more later on in the week. So, everyone, have a wonderful today. Think about what you're persistent about now. Let's start there. What are you persistent about now? Are any of the things you're persistent about now things that you want to change? Because some of the things that we may be persistent about aren't necessarily in alignment with our priority, right? So if you're persistent about, um, let's see, let me think of an example. If one of your priorities is health and you persistently eat things that are not necessarily healthy for you, then that might be something that you're want to change. That may be something that you no longer want to be persistent about. You may want to change that habit and be persistent about a habit that is healthy for you as a example. Okay? So just get curious about the things you are persistent about now that you may not even be aware that you're persistent about it because it's become like an automatic habit, right? So let's get curious about it and see if there's any things that we need to start to shift for ourselves. Okay? All right, y'all. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful today. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. Health is wealth. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes.